Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Why Warriors' Klay Thompson won't be playing for Bahamas this summer. Golden State Warriors guard Klay Thompson has recently drawn attention due to his widely discussed free agency. While his future with the Warriors is still uncertain, he has found a temporary team to connect with, the Bahamas national team. On Tuesday, Thompson was spotted scrimmaging with the team, joined by several other NBA players during their training camp in Houston. Thompson teamed up with fellow NBA players Portland Trail Blazers DeAndre Ayton, Philadelphia 76ers Buddy Hield, and Phoenix Suns Eric Gordon on its roster. Klay Thompson's Bahamian heritage comes from his father, former NBA champion Michael Thompson, who was born and raised in the Bahamas. While Thompson is taking part in the Bahamian team's training camp, it's worth noting that he may not be eligible to play for them during the 2024 Olympic qualifiers, according to a recent article from The Athletic. Thompson, who secured a gold medal with Team USA in 2016, would need an official release from USA Basketball and approval from FIBA to be eligible to play in the Olympic qualifiers and future competitions for Team Bahamas. However, this approval is not expected to be granted. The schedule also presents challenges. The Bahamian national team is scheduled to fly to Greece for 2 exhibition games, against Montenegro on June 25 and Greece with the potential of having Giannis Antetokounmpo on June 27. This will be followed by the Olympic qualifying tournament in Spain, starting on July 2. This timing conflicts with the peak of NBA free agency, which kicks off on June 30. Thompson, a major name on the market, faces an uncertain future with the Golden State Warriors. For the first time in his career, he appears interested in considering opportunities outside of his current team. Even if Thompson were to verbally commit to a new deal with the Warriors, or negotiate with Orlando or another team once free agency officially opens at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on June 30, he wouldn't be able to sign a new contract until July 6. Considering Thompson's history of serious injuries, it would be extremely risky for the 34-year-old to participate in international basketball before finalizing a signed contract. However, Thompson's participation in the training camp is anticipated to be a symbolic occasion, marking a significant moment in the history of Bahamian basketball. The team earned its place in this stage last summer in Argentina, achieving an upset victory over the host country thanks to standout performances from Gordon, Hield, and Ayton. In addition, Anta, the sporting goods company sponsoring Thompson, will also sponsor the Bahamian team and supply them with gear. The Bahamas can only secure a spot in the Olympics by winning a 6-team qualifier, which includes host Spain, as well as Angola, Finland, Lebanon, and Poland. Utah's Lauri Markkanen's shoulder injury, which affected him towards the end of the season, will keep him from representing Finland. This situation suggests that the Bahamas, even without Thompson, could become Spain's primary competitor in the tournament. Gordon, Hield, and Ayton are anticipated to participate again this summer. There's a possibility that Kai Jones, another NBA player and former first-round pick, may join the team. The Bahamian team also boasts a promising pool of young talent. VJ Edgecombe, projected as a 2025 lottery pick, will be part of the training camp, along with A.J. Storr, a guard at Wisconsin, and Donovan Freeman, a top prospect set to attend Syracuse in the upcoming fall. The Bahamas team is coached by Warriors assistant Chris DeMarco. Draymond Green reveals his conversation with Jason Tatum after winning his first NBA championship. As a 4x NBA champion, Draymond Green knows more than most about what it takes to win at the highest level of competition. So after Jason Tatum captured his first championship on Monday, Draymond made sure to give him a call and get his thoughts on the experience. "I called him yesterday and he had the trophy, smiling from ear to ear. And he just holding the trophy. He said to me, 'I don't know what I thought this was gonna feel like, but whatever, I thought it's way better.' And the thoughts you have of winning a championship are pretty high," said Green. And I just called him number 1 to say congratulations. But number 2, I said to him, I just need to feel this energy because I know what it's like. When you're around someone who just won a championship, the vibrations that you catch from them, their frequency level is at an all-time high. Tatum, 26, is fresh off his first championship run after beating the Dallas Mavericks in the 2024 NBA Finals. While he wasn't named MVP in the series, that honor went to his teammate Jaylen Brown. He was still a critical part of the team, going 16-3 through all 4 rounds. With the championship parade set for later this week, Tatum and the Celtics are taking the time to relish their championship and savor the moment for as long as possible. As a 4x champion himself, Draymond knows all too well what it's like to be in this position. The 4x All-Star has been an important part of a dynasty for years, and he had more time at the top alongside 2x MVP Stephen Curry than most players will ever see in their careers. Sadly, the glory days are a thing of the past for the Warriors. This past season, they finished 10th in the West and couldn't even make it out of the play-in tournament. Klay is washed up and threatening to leave, Stephen Curry is in decline, and Draymond can barely keep his temper in check during games. For a team that's lost its way, seeing Tatum with that championship glow may have been exactly what Draymond needed to snap back to form and pull his team out of the gutter. With a title now secured, Tatum's legacy has reached an entirely new level. While he may not be better than Nikola Jokic or Giannis Antetokounmpo, his talents and leadership are clearly among the best, and he has rightfully earned his place as one of the best players in the game. After winning Game 5, he sent a message directly to the doubts and explained how all his team really needed was time. "We were always good and talented," Tatum said via ESPN. "The game needed to slow down. We got to the conference finals 2 out of our first 3 years, and it just seemed like we were all so much older than we actually are. Everybody was like, oh, they didn't win it. They can't play together. They should trade him." And I was always like, I just turned 26 and he's 27. Nobody wanted to give us no time. The Celtics have endured rumors and doubt from all corners of the community, but they had reached its climax after losing in the 2023 Eastern Conference Finals. Fortunately, Tatum has since redeemed that loss and has proven to the world that he's someone who can compete for championships over many years to come. Gary Payton, too, has reportedly made a decision about his future. Golden State Warriors guard Gary Payton, too, is coming off another strong season off the team's bench, though he once again endured lengthy absences due to injuries, and is faced with a tough choice to make this offseason about his future. With the option to head into free agency and seek another long-term contract, Payton has reportedly made a decision about his immediate future. ESPN's Kendra Andrews reported that Payton has chosen to opt into his $9.1 million player option for the 2024-25 season instead of entering free agency. Payton played just 44 games this season and shot 56.3% from the floor after playing just 22 games last year, so it makes sense to take the guaranteed money and hope he can have a healthy season and enter free agency next offseason on a higher note. The financial ramifications for the Warriors are severe, as Payton's contract will make it much more difficult for the team to retain future Hall of Famers Klay Thompson and Chris Paul. The Warriors had a rough season and appear to be clinging to the last chapters of their dynasty, and Payton is a valuable piece of the puzzle, but if his presence costs the team Klay Thompson, it will make the offseason incredibly difficult to navigate for the front office. Paul was injured for much of the season and never looked completely comfortable in his role, but Thompson has been this team's Robin for over a decade. At 31 years old, we'll see if Payton has a big contract year in him. Golden State Warriors guard decides on player option. According to ESPN's Kendra Andrews, Golden State Warriors guard Gary Payton II has decided to opt into his $9.1 million player option for the 2024-25 season. Andrews notes that this opens up the possibility of the two sides agreeing to a contract extension this summer. Gary Payton too has opted into his $9.1 million player option for next season, sources tell ESPN. By opting in, Payton too now has the flexibility to extend with the Warriors this offseason. Payton spent 2 seasons in Golden State from 2020 to 2022 before signing with the Portland Trail Blazers in the 2022 offseason. During that time, Payton played a big role in the team's championship win in 2022. After 15 games in Portland, the Warriors reacquired Payton in a 4-team trade. Since rejoining the team, he has remained a solid backup guard. Last season, Payton averaged 5.5 points, 2.6 rebounds, and 1.1 assists per game. Following the end of the 2023-24 season, Payton expressed his desire to remain with the Warriors. "I would love to come back and run it back. Better yet, just redo my whole deal and stay here for a little bit longer. We'll figure it out." Retaining Payton and potentially keeping him around for the long haul is a big move for the Warriors. However, there are still many other priorities the team must work towards this summer. The biggest is regarding free agent Klay Thompson. After 13 seasons in Golden State, the 4-time champion will hit unrestricted free agency this summer. Currently, it remains unclear if Thompson will re-sign. However, it appears a departure is in the books for Thompson. Recently, The Athletic's Shams Charania said that Thompson is open to all external options in free agency. This indicates that Thompson will likely test the free agency market, where he is expected to be a hot commodity. In addition to Thompson, the Warriors may be without wing Andrew Wiggins next season. Wiggins, who also won a championship with the Warriors in 2022, will likely be a trade candidate this summer. According to Logan Murdoch of The Ringer, there is a belief around the NBA that Wiggins will be included in trade talks this summer. League sources believe Andrew Wiggins will be included in trade talks this summer as the Warriors look to improve their roster. The team must also decide on veteran point guard Chris Paul, who could be on his way out after 1 season with the team. After a disappointing season, the Warriors will likely have a busy offseason ahead of them. Last season, the Warriors finished with a 46-36 record. Despite this being a 2-win improvement from the season prior, the Warriors ended as the number 10 seed in the Western Conference and missed the playoffs. Although it will not move the needle, Payton opting in a step in the right direction. It will be interesting to see where the Warriors go from here in hopes of returning to their dynasty days. Golden State Warriors news: first domino of 2024 offseason drops. After missing out on the playoffs 3 times over the past 5 seasons, the Golden State Warriors find themselves at a crossroads heading into the summer. Star guard Klay Thompson is set to hit free agency. There is absolutely no guarantee that the 4-time champion returns to Northern California. It's also looking more and more like 2022 NBA Finals hero Andrew Wiggins will be traded. The backdrop is obvious in San Francisco. Stephen Curry is entering the twilight of his career. Draymond Green is coming off a drama-filled 2023-24 campaign that saw him suspended multiple times. We can no longer look at Golden State as being in the midst of a dynasty. Despite their title win 2 seasons ago, that time surely has passed. What happens this offseason will go a long way in determining whether Steve Kerr's squad will be actual legit NBA title contenders moving forward. Well, the first domino has dropped. According to ESPN's Kendra Andrews, Payton too has indeed exercised his $9.13 million option for next season. There was some thought that the defensive-minded guard would turn down said option and return on a multi-year deal that lowers his 2024-25 cap number. That doesn't seem to be the case right now. Payton is valuable to Golden State in that he's the team's best perimeter defender. He also hit on 36% of his 3-point shots last season. A $9.13 million salary in 2024-25 is not bad value. On the other hand, Golden State's salary cap and luxury tax situation is by now well known. The Warriors had an NBA record $176.9 million luxury tax payment last season. Heading into the summer, they are an estimated $103.9 million over the cap. In addition to the Thompson and Payton II situations, Chris Paul has a non-guaranteed $30 million salary for next season. The deadline for Golden State to make a decision is next Friday. The future Hall of Famer is reportedly open to pushing back the deadline as a way to help facilitate a trade. This could help the Warriors out some. General Manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. and company have primarily been linked to wings on the NBA trade mill. That includes Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat, Chicago Bulls star DeMar DeRozan, and even a potential reunion with Kevin Durant. Yeah, there is a lot going on in San Francisco right now. That's for sure. Warriors trade pitch would move Kuminga, Podziemski, and Moody for All-Star. The Golden State Warriors offseason could see them pair Stephen Curry with a new co-star. Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report proposed a trade to help them with that in a deal involving Jonathan Kuminga and more to the Utah Jazz for Lauri Markkanen. Warriors would get Markkanen, Jazz would get Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody, 2026 first-round pick, 2028 first-round pick. Buckley wrote that while Kuminga might be nearly untouchable, Markkanen is the type of talent that could have Golden State move him. Markkanen is that type of talent. And while he'd effectively erase Golden State's asset collection, pick swaps could be needed to get this done. It might be worth it to give Curry another shot at the crown. Buckley wrote on June 19. An offense featuring those two with Draymond Green connecting the dots feels impossible to stop. Plus, Markkanen, 27, is young enough that if he stuck around, he could help form the foundation of the franchise's post-Curry era. The Warriors would need to jump through financial hoops to make this mesh with the collective bargaining agreement, but given their stated desire of cutting costs, that shouldn't be much of an obstacle. The Golden State Warriors have young talent in Kuminga, Moody, and Podziemski, but Kuminga has shown the most potential for the future. The 2023-24 season saw him as a starter for 46 of the 74 games he played, averaging 26.3 minutes per contest. He almost doubled his point total at 16.1 points per game and averaged a career high in rebounds and assists. In the league for 3 years already, Kuminga is also still just 21 years old. With Curry, 36, the Warriors eventually have to plan for the future without him. Kuminga could be a big part of that. In an episode of Willard and Dibs, Ramona Shelburne was asked to what extent Kuminga would be on the table. Not at all, Shelburne said in March. I think he's pretty much, look, it's gonna get complicated because of his extension talks and how much money they have but I think they'll do everything they can to keep him. I mean, I don't think they want to even talk about him. Instead of moving Kuminga in a possible deal during the offseason, Shelburne pointed to the Warriors' other assets. They have a pretty good set of assets, Shelburne said. There's some other good young players on the team outside of Kuminga. They have draft picks, they have Wiggins, they have Gary Payton too. They have a lot of options there. They have a lot of optionality and decent contracts. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Jonathan Kuminga? Leave your opinion in the comments.